As we focus on World TB Day, which is being marked officially today in Kenya, and this will be officiated in Thika Town. But of course, we'll be taking an appraisal of sorts on how the country is doing in as far as management of the same and how the prevalence rate is looking like. And speaking of which, remember, World TB Day is marked every year, and the aim is to actually raise public awareness around TB to encourage members of the public to come out for testing, early diagnosis and treatment. Now, the day is also set aside to create public awareness that tuberculosis today still remains an epidemic worldwide, causing the deaths of nearly 1.5 million people yearly, mostly in developing countries. And speaking of developing countries, Kenya is one of them. And the theme worldwide this year is It's Time. Now, this comes after the United Nations high-level meeting on TB that was held in September of last year, and is to ensure the world is reminded of the commitments made and the timely need for action in scale-up, research, funding, human rights and accountability. Now, in Kenya, according to the National Tuberculosis, Leprosy and Lung Disease Program under the Ministry of Health, it has localized that theme, and in Kenya the theme is It's Time for a TB-free Kenya. So let's look at TB and try and get to know more about it. A bit of TB 101. Well, TB is a disease caused by a type of bacteria called Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and it mainly infects the lungs, although it can also affect other organs. Now, TB is contagious as the bacteria that causes TB is spread from one person to another through tiny droplets released into the air via coughs and sneezes. Now, symptoms of TB, well, most people infected with bacteria that causes TB don't have symptoms, and Daktari, who is in studio, will be elaborating some of this. But if somebody has active TB, they will exhibit coughing that lasts 3 or more weeks, coughing up blood, chest pain or pain without breathing or coughing, unintentional weight loss, fatigue, fever, night sweats, chills, and loss of appetite. Now, treatment for TB, treatment isn't always required for those without symptoms. And again, I say this, that Daktari will be elaborating as to how this works, and patients with active symptoms will require a long course of treatment involving multiple antibiotics if not treated properly, and TB, as you know, can be fatal. So that's a little bit about what tuberculosis is, abbreviated as TB, and the world is marking TB Day. That is on March 24th, which will be this coming Sunday. But today, Kenya, the country, of course, is celebrating the same, and this will be officiated in Thika Town. Now, there is a reason why those celebrations are being done in Thika Town, and we'll be getting to the details of that. But before we get to it, let me introduce my guests who will be helping us have an idea of how, or the prevalence rate of TB and the situation in Kenya right now. We have Martha Njoki Kariuki, who is a caregiver to a daughter who succumbed to TB. Thank you for making time. Lea Wanjiko Wangare, who is a caregiver to a child who was actually misdiagnosed for a very long time, and she'll be giving us her experience. And next to me is Edward Abuneri, who is a community health worker from Kiambu County, and at the extreme far end, Dr. Stephen Mulashe, who is the head of pediatric at the National TB program. Thank you for joining us. Now, today, just to be specific, even as we talk about TB and try to understand it, we are focusing on childhood TB. Why? Because as I read out the symptoms, some of those symptoms are highly misdiagnosed because at times they elicit some symptoms that are also connected to other ailments, diseases, or conditions. But I'm glad we have a doctor in studio to help us walk this path. Now, Daktari, before we get to the conversation, let's start with the fact that a big part of the country is dealing with malnutrition. We are facing hunger. Is that one of the reasons that probably would aggravate or is aggravating the numbers that are connected to TB in Kenya?
Okay, thank you very much. We know that TB is a leading cause of death amongst these infectious diseases globally, but in Kenya here it's the fourth leading cause of death, also among the infectious diseases. And we have many factors that will predispose one to get tuberculosis. Of course, like you've rightly mentioned, malnutrition is one of them, and especially in children. And that's why all our patients who are on treatment for tuberculosis, we usually do a nutrition assessment, because most of them we find that they have malnutrition, and we want to put them on some sort of nutritional intervention. So, of course, it's true, malnutrition is one of the predisposing factors for both adults and children to get tuberculosis.
All right.
And other conditions that will lead to malnutrition, apart from hunger, will be like chronic diseases, like HIV and AIDS will also lead to malnutrition, reduced immunity, therefore predisposing one to get tuberculosis.
Okay, now according to a report that was released by UNICEF in 2017, an estimated 1 million children fell ill with TB, 10% of all TB cases, and 233,000 of those children were under 15 years, and they actually died of TB. What do you think is the pointing factors to the reason why we have more numbers skewed towards the children?
So from statistics, like you've rightly said, actually children form about 10 to 15% of the total number of TB cases. So worldwide, in 2017, about 10 million new cases, of which 10% of that is about 1 million. Yeah, so usually the range is between 10 and 15%. And we know children get TB because of exposure to adults who have infectious TB, what in scientific terms we call bacteriologically confirmed TB, as in the sputum sample has been taken and tested in the laboratory and found to have the TB bacteria. Those are the people who are most at risk to infect other people, including the children. And so our focus usually is to find children in households who are living with the adults with TB, so that we can also put them on preventive treatment. Children will die more, and they are quite vulnerable, and because of their immunity issues, their immunity is still developing, and therefore they are more prone to easily get infected, and if they are not put on treatment, of course, they'll die within the first year. Of infection with tuberculosis.
Okay, speaking of succumbing to TB, now Martha, you lost your daughter to TB. How old was she?
She was 12 years.
Okay, how did you get the diagnosis, or how did you end up knowing that she had TB?
Wacha nieleze na Kiswahili. Alikuwa na TB wa pneumonia, lakini nikaonelea hizo dawa natumia kila mara Andromycin na hakuna change. Mtoto nikaona anaendelea kuwa down sana, hakohoi, lakini ana complain tu bafu moja inauma. Mimi nikaonelea tu ni change hospitali, alikuwa anatibiwa Mama Lucy, nimpeleke hospitali ingine at least waone ni nini naendelea. Ndio wakapiga picha na wakaona alikuwa na TB. Kuona ako na TB akameza dawa for 2 months, lakini kumaliza hizo 2 months hakuna change yoyote, hata alizidiwa zaidi, kansa mpaka kufura mwili. Daktari akaamua tunafaa tena tuadmitiwe kwa hospitali yenye kuna admission, ndio at least waone nini naendelea. Ndio wakanilifaa tena Mama Lucy yenye nilitangulia. Lakini nikapata wao wamegoma. Nikatumwa St. Francis. St. Francis nao nikapata biru yake iko juu sana, sitaweza na sikuwa na kadi ya NHIF. So nikaongea na dadagu, kaniambia tumpeleke huko Marura, iko Mathare North. Huko Marura ndio daktari, kabla ya kupima kitu yote nilimwelezea mambo. Alikuwa anatibiwa TB, lakini kulingana na vile alikuwa amefura. Kasema kwanza afurashiwe maji ile ilikuwa kwa kifua, at least hata ndio aweze hata kuinama apigwe picha. Kosa hangeweza hata kulala. Kufurashiwa hiyo maji, wakafurashi maji na tukaraswa huko. Kaendelea bado na matibabu ile ya TB. Siku ya 3 daktari wa roho tena akakuja. Kasema akimwangalia anaona hata ni kama ako mpaka na shida ya roho. Sababu anaona ati kucha zake ni kama zinakaa kama zina fly. Lakini sasa kwa macho yako wewe ungeona, lakini daktari mwenyewe anaelewa. Akasema anafaa kutulifaa tena pisha German Hospital. Lakini ikawa huu wakati wa election kulikuwa na vita. Hatungekuwa na njia ya kupitia yote. Sababu kulikuwa na vita. So nikamwambia tugojee hii vita iishe. Tena sina kadi ya NHIF, kwanza niwalipe bill yao. Alafu nikamulizia bill ya hiyo pisha, ndio akaniambia German Hospital nitaitishwa 80,000 ndio apige hiyo pisha. Na si ile pesa nilikuwa nayo, cause mimi nilikuwa nauza greengrocer. Mzee ni mtu tu wa kazi ya mjengo, kwa hivyo hata pesa imeishia tu kwa njia. Sasa nikaenda nyumbani, nikapewa ruhusa. Na siku ya 3 nikashagiwa tu na familia. Nikaenda hiyo pisha. Kupigwa pisha German Hospital. Daktari mwenyewe wa German Hospital akaniambia nisirudishe huyu mtoto kwa nyumba. Lakini tena singemrudisha sababu alikuwa amefura kiwango hata nguo kumtoshea ilikuwa shida. Nikarudisha Marura Hospital. Daktari kuangalia pisha akanilifaa Kenyatta. Kenyatta National Hospital nilifika mwendo wa saa 1 jioni. Daktari wakapima pressure na vitu zingine. Wakaniambia mpaka admitiwe. Kuadmitiwa sasa wakaniambia kama niko na 800. Saa hiyo nilikuwa nimebakisha tu 100. Nikamwambia mimi sina. Akaniambia sisemi utaenda na mtoto nyumbani. Lakini vile mko na mwanaume hapa, tulikuwa na babake, takaga kidogo kuangaisha wanaume at least hata wao wajikakamue. Kosa wanaga hiyo nini sana ya watoto kama wanawake. Ndio tukaadmitiwa ward 3A. Tukaraswa huko for 2 days. Ndio daktari wa TB akakuja. Kesho yake madaktari wakakuja wakamzingira wengi. Kaniuliza historia yake tena barua nilikuwa nayo. Wakaangalia wanauliza mtoto swali anajibu. Nilikuwa mtoto mwerevu tu. Akajibu. Sasa by saa 8 daktari akakuja mwingine. Akamwambia Joyce, nataka nikutoe kikohozi. Na unaona hizi pipes nimebeba. Sinakuaga shugu sana nikikuigiza. Kwa hivyo uteme kikohozi. Joyce mwenyewe akaniambia daktari, sasa unaniambia nitoe kikohozi, nitatoa wapi? Mimi sinaga kikohozi. Lakini mimi nikikohoa nasikia tu shugu kwa kifua, lakini sina kikohozi ile ya kutoa. Lakini akamwambia kama unataka nitoe kikohozi, saidia na hiyo smartphone yako nicheze nayo kidogo. At least nione kama nitatoa. Daktari hakumnyima, hawa wanaume ni wazuri sana. Kampatia, kacheza nayo kidogo. Ndio alijaribu tu kidogo na akatoa. Daktari akasema hiyo inatosha. Kaenda nayo, kapima. By saa 10, nikakuja nikaambiwa sasa utakaa hapa, Mama Joyce unahama hapa. Sababu tumeona ile inakula Joyce. Sasa nikamuuliza ni nini? Sababu unaona mpaka uulize kwa unyenyekevu, hutaki kushautiwa, tena uko na stress. Lakini hakunijibu vibaya, kaniambia tumediscover ile TB iko na huyu mtoto ni MDR TB. Kamuuliza MDR ni nini? Mimi sijaisikia mambo ya TB. Sasa akaniambia hiyo ni drug resistance. Kwa hivyo atakaa kwa sindano na dawa. Na akiendelea kukaa na hawa watu hapa ataambukisha wengi. Na hata wewe tunataka kikohozi yako. Nikamwambia ni sawa. na mimi nikatoa kikohozi, wakaenda wakapima, tukachejiwa hiyo room, tukawekwa karumu kando.
Wewe ulikuwa sawa?
Mimi nilikuwa sawa.
Okay, sawa. Tutasimamia hapo for now. Nirudi kwenye daktari tena. Daktari, just listening to her story, you will see some sort of misdiagnosis at some point. Then at some point you can tell it's TB, but at some point it took them a bit too long to figure out if she had the active and drug resistance TB. How much of this kind of scenarios play part in increasing the infection of TB?
Yeah, so like you rightly said, the symptoms of TB, we have the 4 common symptoms of TB, which in adults, an adult may have all of them, unlike in children. That is cough. We used to talk of cough of more than 2 weeks, but actually now cough of any duration is what is considered.
Yes.
And you could be a presumptive case, or you are considered a presumptive case at least if you have a cough, fever, and if you have night sweats and weight loss. Of course, children, diagnosis of TB in children is a bit complicated because they don't exhibit all those symptoms. Just like she has said, her child didn't have any cough, just chest pain and maybe difficulty in breathing. A child would present to you with just lethargy. Child who used to be very playful becomes less playful, loses appetite. The way you used to feed well is no longer feeding well. And you as a healthcare worker, you need to have high index of suspicion. And for us, usually what we'll do is, history is very important. History of TB in the home is the starting point. Is there an adult with TB in the home? So that even if the child doesn't have symptoms of cough, fever, but comes with other symptoms totally different, you'll still suspect the child to have TB and go ahead to investigate for TB. So we see these cases very often, and especially in children. A child will be treated for upper respiratory tract infection, erythromycin with amoxicillin, given medicines to reduce fever. And you'll keep on coming to the doctor or the healthcare worker every other time. You as the healthcare worker, you need to now suspect that you've treated this child for upper respiratory tract infection for more than 2 weeks. Child is not getting better. Maybe the weight is losing more weight and becoming more sick. And so it becomes very important to just have that high index of suspicion. We say in children we diagnose TB clinically because they are not able to produce sputum, like she said. It's difficult to. So what you usually consider sometimes is to do an X-ray. To do an X-ray, and if the X-ray shows that symptoms suggest of TB, you'll definitely have to start this child on treatment.
Okay. All right. Now, Leah Wanjiku, your child was actually misdiagnosed to have cerebral palsy. What was your story and how did you even get to that?
Okay, my baby was misdiagnosed after a year of she got TB after one. Okay, when I gave birth to her, that's when she got TB. So she was severely misdiagnosed. I went to several hospitals. Some of the hospitals said that she had asthma. Others said she had cerebral palsy. Some hospitals even said she had ENT. I visited several hospitals, and after a year of misdiagnosis, I decided to take her to another hospital. She was well for a while, but after 6 months, her weight started going down. She had stunted growth. Okay, I decided to take her to a hospital. Where on our way, she produced some sputum with blood stains. Yeah. When I took her to hospital, they did the test, and that's when she was diagnosed with pulmonary tuberculosis.
Okay, now, Daktari, I know just from reading from it, TB can affect the lungs, but it can also affect other organs of the body, hence
Yeah.
exhibiting different symptoms. And clearly, that is what Leah and the child were dealing with. Please explain to us how and what we should be looking out for in children, especially because for you to misdiagnose TB for CP is a very huge chance.
Yeah, so majority of children will have pulmonary TB, but a few of them will have what we call extrapulmonary, as in TB that affects other parts of the body.
Yes.
It could affect the coverings of the brain, what we call TB meningitis. It could affect the spine, what we call TB spine, even the bones, and literally every other part of the body, apart from the nails and the hair.
Why? Is it because they are dead organs?
Because they are dead. We have
Yeah.
dead cells.
Oh, the dead cells,
Yeah,
yes.
so TB will naturally survive where the environment is conducive in the lungs and in the body tissues. Yeah, and so the symptoms or some of the signs that a child will come with that will make you suspect extrapulmonary TB is enlargement of the lymph nodes, and usually at the neck.
Yeah.
We have lymph nodes at the neck, and so if a child comes with an enlarged lymph node, then definitely you should be able to suspect. Okay. One of the differential diagnoses will be tuberculosis, and so you'll go back to ask the history of TB in the home. If there's a history of contact or exposure, then in fact that child you might not need to do anything else. If you study that child on treatment, you're 100% sure that if history of the exposure with the lymph node enlargement, this child will do. And usually they'll respond very fast. Within 2 weeks, a child who was going down will not start coming up and do very well. Though we usually insist on bacteriological or laboratory diagnosis.
Yeah.
So even for such lymph nodes, you'll want to go in with a needle, what we call fine needle aspiration, and take some sample to the laboratory.
Just to make sure.
To make sure that you're dealing with tuberculosis. Other parts of the body, like TB spine, you'll find a child coming to you with, maybe paralysis of the lower limbs because the bacteria has launched itself at the spine. Yeah. And so it leads to the collapse of the spine and pressure on the nerves. On an X-ray, you'll be able to see quite well that the spinal disc has been affected and it has collapsed. And usually in that case, you'll actually conclude that this is TB. TB meningitis also is common. This is a severe form of TB. And usually the child is very sick. This child needs to be managed in a hospitalized setup because they go down very fast. And diagnosis of TB spine will also be through putting a needle through the spine and removing what we call the cerebrospinal fluid. This fluid can also be subjected to laboratory tests, which should be able to diagnose that a child has tuberculosis. So I suspect with the cerebral palsy issue, this child may have had pulmonary TB that complicated to TB meningitis, which is affecting the coverings of the brain.
Okay.
Itself.
All right. Now, Edward Abuneri, I understand you were involved in that case and you probably pinpointed on what could be missed out on it. When you listen to the two ladies, being a community health worker, I'm sure you come across so many people that deal with different symptoms and most often than not do not get the help they need until it's too late. So what are some of those impediments you think from a personal level that we miss out on, and also from the health workers or those doctors and nurses?
Okay, so thank you first for this opportunity because in so many years community health workers have never been involved in such platform. So I've been a CHV since 2010 after my high school, and it gave me even the opportunity to proceed with my education in public health. So because I had the passion of working in community. So for us, we come across so many cases in community level, and what happens is you find a client complaining for the symptoms that Daktari has explained, But when we write a referral for this client and you refer the client to the link facility at our places, in some cases the doctors misdiagnose, maybe because of workload at the facility. They just write medication the way they have explained, and then they tell the client, let's see how the child will proceed, and then we shall see what to do. So that has been a challenge, because we do a lot to refer the cases, but in some cases the clinician fail us in some part. Yeah.
Okay, now I'll go back to you, Martha. Just your story is really sad because you eventually lost your 12-year-old daughter. How did we get to that? Because I understand one of her lungs collapsed.
Sasa vile aliendelea sasa, sasa vile sasa niliadmitiwa huko Kenyatta, ndio sasa nilihamishwa tena kwa ile ward niliisolatiwa huko juu, ward 3A. Walirudi wakaniambia tena, ikienda kufika jioni tena mtoto akaanza kusema hapumui na mapua yake. Nikaita daktari, daktari sasa akasema, akajaribu akaona ni ukweli hapumui. Unajua sometimes watoto wanajifanya tu, lakini akaona hajifanyi, hapumui kweli kweli. Ndio akamweka hizo gas zao, lakini akaniambia hapa mko kwa muda, mnahamishwa hapa, na ile ward nawapeleka iko mbali sana na Kenyatta. Sasa nikamwambia mbali sana na Kenyatta, tena anaenda wapi? Akaniambia kwenye anaenda hata si ward mnaenda kulazwa na yeye, cause hata kaa kwa mwezi moja ama 2. Nikamuuliza tena, mtoto wangu niwaashie Kenyatta nimwashe na nani? Akaniambia wewe usijali. Saa ikifika saa 11 hapo ndio niona wamekuja na mtungi gasi tena, akaniambia tunahama. Ndio tukahamishwa kwa hiyo ward. Alikuwa ananiambia iko mbali, lakini bahati mzuri kukaa na mama alikuwa amekuja kunitembelea. Nikawaambia nyinyi padeni kwa hizo lift na hao madaktari, mimi nitateremka na hii stairs, sababu mimi sijui kwenye tunapelekwa, mtanipata huko chini. Sasa tukapelekwa, ndio nilipata miti, yani nimefika huko chini, tukaandamana na wao. Ndio tukaenda kwa hiyo ward alikuwa ananiambia, kumbe ilikuwa isolation 41 Kenyatta. Tukaingia karibu milango 5. Hata nikaanza kuogopa, nikashindwa tena, kwani tumekuja kuwekwa kwa jela, kosi iko mbali sana tena na nje. Kufika tukawekwa hapo reception, wakaingia na mtoto ndani. Kukakaa kidogo wakaniita, wakaniambia wewe kuja na uvae mask. Hapa ufai kuingia bila mask. Hata ulikuwa unakaa vibaya sana ukiwa na huyu mtoto bila mask. Nikawaambia sawa, sababu sasa sikuwa najua na sijaiambiwa na daktari yeyote. Sasa singekuwa na namna ya kufanya. Nikaingia sasa, nikaonyesha mahali wamelasa mtoto wangu. Lakini wakati huo hata hakuniona. Wakaniambia sasa hapa hatutaki watu wengi, hatutaki harufu yeyote, hatutaki maspray. Kwa hivyo utupatie watu 3 wale watakuwa nakuja kwa hii ward. Sasa nikawaambia labda mimi na babangu na brother yake. Alafu akaniambia sasa, nikamalizana na wao na nikawasha tu akitibu mtoto, hata hakuniona sababu sasa alikuwa ameanza sasa kuishiwa na nguvu. Mimi nikaenda kwa reception ndio nielezewe sasa vile nitakuwa naenda. Mwenye nilipata reception ndio naye aliangusha sana. Ananiambia sasa kama utampata kiwa hai hapa hata raswa baada ya chini ya miezi 2, kama utampata hiyo jina haashi nyuma, kwa hivyo ananiua. Lakini mimi ni mtu wa kujikasa tu, mimi namwambia ni sawa. Na utakuwa unakuja saa 1, alafu saa 7 unakuja, alafu natoka unamwasha. Kamwambia ni sawa. Alafu akaniuliza kama niko na kadi ya NHIF. Mimi nikamwambia sina kadi, lakini huko juu tulikuwa tumeongea na hao watu wa social work na walikuwa wameniandikisha. Lakini akaniambia sasa ujue ukienda ujiandae muuse shamba yenu, kwa sababu hapa kitanda ni pesa mingi sana. Mimi nikamwambia tu ni sawa. Mambo yangu yote ilikuwa sawa. Sasa nikatoka mimi nikaenda. Kuenda ndio nikaambia sasa babake, wewe amukia, wewe ukipata huyo mtoto, sababu niambia tukimpata akiwa hai Ukimpata usinipigie simu, ukimkosa bado usinipigie simu, wewe pigia majirani waambie. Vile nilifika nyumbani, changamoto zilikuwa mingi, sababu watu kuniona tena ulikuwa kwa ward na umekuja bila mtoto. Kwa hivyo wengi wanaingia kwa nyumba pole pole, lakini pole kwa wenye imekupata. Sikuwa na jambo ya kusema, naambia mtu sawa tu. Lakini sasa asubuhi babake aliamkia, kapiga simu, mimi sikuishukua tu na jirani. Kamwambia ongea na hii phone. Kuongea na phone akaniambia hapana, hata ni mtoto mwenyewe anaongea na phone. Sasa ndio nishukua phone, akaniuliza nitaingia saa ngapi, akaniambia sasa miguu ametibua usiku, miguu imeisha ufimbe. Sasa hata anatembea huko, amepatana na maanti wapoa sana huko. Na hiyo rumu ni safi hata kuliko kwenye tulikuwa. Sasa nikamwambia sasa nitaingia tu saa 7. Sasa safari yangu ilianza hapo. Mpaka miezi 5, wiki 2. Kila siku naenda Kenyatta, natoka. Nakaa na mtoto mpaka jioni, natoka, tunasaidiana na babake na brother yake. Lakini kukikuja mgeni saidi yangu, hao wengine kulikuwa na wagonjwa wengine huko. Hao wengine wanatembelewa. Lakini mgeni akikuja aseme ni mimi nataka kuona, anakataswa, sijui ni kwa nini. Aya, alafu kuna daktari yule bado alikuwa ananiambia mambo ya maafa. Alikuwa ananiambia hata hii mavazi unafaaga wewe. Ujue hapa hakuna mtoto atatoka kwa hii hospitali bila malipo. Hata tuliambiwa na mtu hapa, wewe uko na hospitali yako. Mimi nikamwambia sasa mwenye alikuambia mimi sijui ni nani na hakuna mtu wetu hapa. Alafu maji najua hayusagwi. Kama ni nguo ya mtumba ukienda upige pasi bado unang'ala. Kwa hivyo sijui nifae matabala ndio
Ukae kama una shida.
Ikae niko na shida. Sasa labda ni Mungu aliniweka tu hivyo, niko na kitu na sina. Mimi tukaashana. Tulikuwa sasa kila siku majadiliano nikumpata kwa reception ilikuwa tu hiyo. Alafu akienda kwa mtoto bado alikuwa na mhala sana, namwambia hii maoxygen washagi kila saa. Ujue hapa utakaa miaka 4 miaka rudi. Sasa niambia yule daktari ananihala sana. Mimi namwambia yeye tulia. Lakini ananiambia kuna daktari mwingine anakujaga hapa. Tunaobaga rosari na yeye. Hiyo ndiye ananitianga nguvu, ananiambia nitatoka.
Okay.
Alafu nilipatana na mwingine bado amenipatia television. Tena akaniitisha vitabu, sasa akuya nasomeanga tu hapo. Sasa safari yangu ilienda tu mpaka December. Daktari akaniambia sasa amemalizana na yeye, kama amemaliza miezi 3. Sasa tunaweza toka. Lakini nikamuuliza shida ni nini? Tutatoka na mtoto sikatai. Pesa ya hospitali haijatosha. Tena hii gas sina kwa nyumba. Ataenda kupumua na nini? Daktari akaniambia hata hiyo ndio nayo swali ile najiuliza. Lakini kwa matibabu yangu sasa nimemalizana nayo kwa ward. Ndio sasa nikaenda
tusimamie hapo kidogo. Sasa nirudi kwenye daktari. Now, daktari, just listening to her experience, clearly they went through a lot trying to make sure that their child got the best medical care, but also just dealing with those that are supposed to give them the best of care as they go through the treatment were not, you know, very conducive, so to speak. Your comment?
Yeah, you know, for a long time, tuberculosis has been associated with a lot of stigma. Even amongst the healthcare workers, you'll find there's still a lot of stigma. If and especially healthcare workers, maybe who have not handled TB patients before.
Yes.
But even those ones who in the TB clinic, you'll still find there's still some level of stigma. And this is something that we are also trying to grapple with as a program to ensure that our healthcare workers give the best. Because it's by giving the best that your patient gets best outcomes.
Yes.
You might give the treatment, proper treatment, it's taken on a daily basis, but if this patient psychologically is affected, then you find also their issues. So this was issue of stigma, and especially around drug-resistant TB.
Yeah.
Because people know that drug-resistant TB is lethal. Initially, even healthcare workers will shy away from handling such patients, the early days of MDR TB. But with education, empowering them to ensure that they observe infection prevention measures amongst themselves, and also give the same advice to the parents of these children or the people affected with TB. So with time, we are seeing this improve slowly by slowly, but it has not been eliminated completely. Stigma around the community also is quite high. You remember she told you when she gets back home, people asking, where is your child, Paul? Trying to give empathy, but at the same time, knowing that maybe this child has TB. And so we find in the community still a lot of stigma, and people will try to shy away from you, especially if you know you have TB.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Leah, having a child who is misdiagnosed with CP and even going through the occupational therapy to help the child before you found out they had TB, did you also face some stigma that came with it because some of the symptoms was that your child had delayed milestones, was smaller than they should have been, they were not gaining weight?
Yeah. Some of the challenges that I faced were social stigma. Okay, majority of people from our village would criticize me until I felt I'm a bad mommy because my baby had slow milestones. Her growth was stunted.
Yeah.
So they always criticized me. Some even discriminated us. They didn't want to mingle with us since TB is an airborne disease, and they thought we could contract their babies with it. Yeah.
Okay. Now, for you, Edward, even as you mingle with community members, some of this stigma stories, I'm sure, are not, a surprise to you because you see a lot more from your interactions with them. How much of this has kept many not from getting the help they need? Because we are also dealing, and Dr. will speak about, with a huge number of cases that are not yet with the healthcare workers.
Yeah, what they are saying is true. There is stigma among the community, and one of the role as a community health worker is when we visit this household, because that's what we normally do. We try to talk to the household member against this stigmatization, because you find that a client has a TB and they have maybe found a room for that client. They are not mingling with that client, so the client feels stigmatized. So our main role is also sensitization on stigma. And there are so many cases you try even to refer client, or maybe you try to talk to client to adhere to drugs,
Yes.
but due to stigmatization, this client end up being a defaulter because of maybe how the family members, how the community is taking this client. So our main role is also to try to sensitize on stigmatization at community level, and we try to talk to these clients so that they feel they have that sense of belonging to the community. And that's what we have been doing to try at least not to have defaulters or the treatment interrupters. Nowadays we call them treatment interrupters. And at least when it comes to Thika, especially where I come from in Kendutu, Kendutu Slum, because it's so big, nowadays we don't have such cases of stigmatization, because at least we have talked with community during the dialogue days, and at least we don't have so many cases of stigma. But initially there used to be so many cases, but for now we don't have. But I think it plays a role whereby there's so many cases of TB because they are not controlled because of stigma.
Okay, and they're not given the support that they need to get the healthcare,
Exactly.
they need. Okay, now back to you, Martha. When you went back home with this child, at least you got the oxygen tank, yes. When you went back home with them, something happened that now brought your child to a point where she lost her life.
Okay. Sasa nilinunua mashini kwanza, daktari akasema mpaka ione Kenyatta ndio ajue vile inafanya kazi. Kwa hiyo mtoto angekaa nayo Kenyatta. Pina nilikwenda nayo nyumbani, changamoto zenye zilikuwa huko ni stima, electricity. Wakati hiyo mashini ilikuwa inachukua moto mingi. Kwa hivyo moto ikienda chini mpaka utafute generator. Sasa siku ya pili washa stima ipotee. Sina generator. Kwenda kuomba jirani generator, anaona ni kama kwamba anakusaidia sana, na labda ameiweka tu kwa nyumba, anakusaidia kwa dakika kidogo, maana anakujia generator yake. Pesa mpaka ukuwe nayo kwa mkono sababu ya kununulia oil ya hiyo generator yenye inatumia. Ikafika mahali nikaona baada ya hii stress ya kuombaombanga kila saa, na hii stima inaenda ikikaa on and off, na ni Sabasa, si stima ati iko na mita. Lakini nikaona marafiki wazuri sana wenye wananisaidia, wametoa stima kila pande. Nilikuwa na kama line 3, hii ikienda off hii inaingia. Nikaona wacha ninunue generator yangu, niache kusubuana na raia. Nikanunua generator yangu. Lakini siku hiyo ya kifo, mimi sijui kulikuaje. Siku ya kifo hata ufanye nini, hata ufuge na milango gani, mpaka kifo ingie. Generator ilikuwa mpya. Nikanunua mafuta ilikuweko, lakini stima ikaenda off asubuhi. Ilikuwa siku ya msadi. Lakini hiyo asubuhi mtoto akaniambia sitaki kukaa bedroom, nataka kukaa table room. Na nasikia kama roho imeshoka. Nikamuuliza Joyce, roho inashokaga namna gani? Joyce alisheka sana. Sioni dalili mimi ya kifo, amenifunika kabisa. Akaniambia wewe ada 18, wewe useekagi. Badilisha hizo nywele, wageni wanakuja wengi sana hapa. Nikamuuliza Joyce, wageni wanatoka wapi? Akaniambia wageni wanatoka Nyeri, na utandike vitambaa smart, na nasikia bado roho inashoka. Tena weka mkate pale. Kuna wageni wanatoka Nyeri, na hiyo mkate usikuze, ni wale wageni watakuja. Nikamwambia ni sawa. Mimi nikaanza kuandaa chakula. Kuna dadangu alikuwa ananitembelea kutoka Huruma na mama mwingine. Nikiandaa chakula hapo, stima ikaenda off. Nikaweka generator mafuta. Kwenda kwa generator ikaanza kusima. Akaniambia si nilikwambia, mimi nasikia hii generator hata haileti hewa, sipumui hata. Akaniambia itaniitie Edu ni kijana alikuwa anamsaidia sana. Nikamuita nikamwambia kuja uniangalie generator ni nini nafanya. Kaangalia kaona iko na mafuta, ajui ni nini. Joyce mwenyewe akaniambia si unipeleke kwa hii kanisa iko hapa next. Nikamwambia mama, nilikataza kunisubuanga na tulinunua generator. Wacha tu yetu itengenezwe haraka. Akaniuliza brother wangu ako wapi? Kampigia simu ikawa mteja. Akaniambia nikimuita anakujanga. Hiyo naye atanisaidia. Akaniambia wewe ni bebe. Akaitana Washira akumuita tu mara mbili, nikaona brother yake akakuja. Akaniambia umeona? Huyu ndiye bwanangu amekuja. Akaniambia sasa ni bebe, ukinibeba na igisaga hewa. Brother yangu atengeneza hii generator. Kufungua kuiangalia hata waoni kitu na generator mpya. Sasa Joyce dakika kidogo nikasikia kama ametapika. Akaniambia wewe daiti nimetapika. Nikamuuliza kwani ni hii tena? Akaniambia sijui ni nini. Akaniambia sababu wewe ni kamarigo, wewe badilisha hiyo nguo, alafu ufae ingine unitoe nje unibebe tena. Kamwambia sasa tena nikikuweka chini utapumua. Akaniambia ni sawa, ni dakika moja. Kwa hivyo nisheji nguo haraka na nikamwekelea kwa mgogo. Kumwekelea akaniambia niweke kwa hii mtungi iko hapa nje, nione kama ndio nitasikia poa. Mimi kienda kumweka ndio niona kisha imekaa hivi, imeinama. Nikakibia, sasa yule alikuwa anatengeneza generator, nikamwambia sasa ni nini mambo gani? Tukaanza wanaunganisha, wanaishikilia, sasa tunaweka mashine. Bado haigisi hewa, tukaanza kupepeta. Sasa tukakibia kwa ile kanisa alituambia, kwa kibia na mashine. Kanisa ikakataa. Ikasema hiyo haishukuagi wagonjwa, inashukuaga wale wanatolewa mapepo. Ndio brother yake akakibia kwake haraka. Sababu sasa dawa yake ilikuwa tu hewa, kwa sababu hata sindano alikuwa amemalizana nazo. Sasa ndio hiyo siku ifike ya kukufa. Brother yake akakuja bio akaniambia kwake kuna stima. Tukakibia tena na ile mashine na mtoto sasa na watu wengine. Kufika kwa kijana kukaa tu chini, stima ikaenda off. Shule ingine hapo nayo ikaconnect tena stima ya shule. Kuigiza mtoto ndani kwa shule tena stima ikaenda off. Tukaingia kwa mzee mwingine akasema kuna stima tena ikawa down sana, haigeigiza. Hapo ndio ninyang'anywa mtoto, kaenda wakamuombea generator kwa video ingine. Hapo nikapata sasa wanaopalisa, mikabaki nje, hakuna saa hiyo mtu ako na kiatu na kibia bila kitu, sababu sasa tunatafuta tu mahali atasaidika tu na hewa. Mashini tuko nayo, generator ndio sasa inasumbua na stima hakuna. Kufika pale tulisaidiwa, daktari mwingine akakuja kamuweka maji, ndio tukaamua sasa tukibise Kenyatta. Lakini on the way to Kenyatta kufika pale Nyayo Stadium sasa tulienda na generator, vijana washikilie generator juu, ilikuwa kazi gumu isimuigisie hewa baya. Kijana brother yake naye ashikilie mashini, wale wengine nao washikilie mtoto. Mimi na dereva tukae tu. Tukakibia tu Kenyatta. Kufika Nyayo Stadium ndio nisikia ai, roho yangu imekatika na ikasikia hiyo mashini vile imelia. Inaliaga vile nilikuwa nasikia ikilia stima ikipotea, nikajua hapo hakuna mtoto. Ndio niligeuka nyuma. Sister yangu akaniambia yeye ndiye alikuwa amebeba mtoto na mama mwingine akaniambia mtoto wako sawa. Wakakaa kama watu walikuwa wananigoja. Nikamwambia sawa. Tukafika Kenyatta pale casualty. Madaktari walikimbia haraka haraka. Lakini kufika kwa gari mimi nilitoka haraka na nikasimama bali na wao. Daktari akaingia tu kwa gari. Kapima mtoto, anampimia tu kwa gari. Ka disconnect ile generator. Kumpima akaona ni kama kipimo yake haingii. Anaona kama inamdanganya kwa sababu ungesema mtoto amekufa. Akatoanisha gloves. Sasa akaanza kupima mpaka na mikono. Akaita wengine waina wakapima. Ndio alikuja mahali nilikuwa nimesimama. Hawa akaanza kulia wenye wako na mtoto. Mpaka dereva na simujui. Mimi nimesimama tu. Mimi ni mtu tu wa kujikasa tu. Najipeaga tu nguvu. Kaniuliza nani ako na yule mtoto, nikamwambia ni mimi. Akaniuliza kweli si yule ako kwa gari, dadangu tunafanana sana. Nikamwambia ni mimi. Akaniuliza nani itapatia ripoti, nikamwambia ni mimi. Akaniuliza tena wewe ndiye nitapatia ripoti. Nikamuuliza katikati ya wale niambia hata wewe nani utapatia ripoti. Sasa ndio akaniambia twende tukae chini pale. Nikamwambia nipatilie ripoti kama nimesimama hapa. Akaniambia hapana. Twende tukae chini pale. Akaniambia sasa sorry to say so, mtoto ameenda. Nikamwambia sawa. Akaniambia na hiyo sawa umeitikia haraka. Akakuja na kitu ya blood pressure. Kanipima. Kaona niko sawa. Kaniuliza nikikuuliza namba ya ID unaweza ikumbuka, nikamwambia nikampatia.
Okay. So at that point is when you found out that your child has succumbed to TB. Okay. The challenges for those that are living with TB or caregivers to those living with TB, and the reality of many losing their lives to this disease that is preventable, treatable, and can be managed and actually be cured. We take a short break on NTV today. We'll be back even as we talk about tuberculosis. Remember, the day will be marked on the 24th of March, which is this coming Sunday. But today, Kenya is marking that day in Thika. There is a reason why it's being marked in Thika town, because of Kiambu County being having a high burden of TB. And we'll get to those details right after this break. Our core conversation today, World TB Day, even as we take stock of how the country has been dealing with this highly infectious disease. And remember, it is one that is prevented and can also preventable rather, and one that can be treated and can be cured. Well, those celebrations will be held in different parts of the country, but in Thika town, that's where it will be officially marked. And as I actually alluded to earlier on, is that Kiambu County is very significant in this talking as far as TB is concerned, because it has a very high TB burden, and we'll be getting to the details of that. Before we get to it, I am told my colleague, that is Kevin Mutai, is in Mombasa, and he is now joining us with some details that have to do with water. Remember, today also is World Water Day, but ironically enough, those in that area are actually dealing with lack of the same. Well, if he is ready, he can now join us with the latest.
Well, Gladys, you said it right. Today marks the World Water Day, and the theme is leaving no one behind. Remember, that is something that Mombasa County has been really struggling with, of course, the county demanding more than 180,000 cubic meters of the precious commodity, and only, we are told, by institutions that are in charge of making sure that residents of Mombasa get water, is that we are only getting 30% of the required amount, and this has been a biting issue with, of course, residents having to deal with water rationing. We are told that some areas get 3 times a week for only 6 hours, and it is something that, of course, needs a collective approach to ensure that there will be stable, or rather steady supply of the commodity in this region. Remember that Mombasa has no source of water, and we depend on water from various counties such as Kwale and Kilifi County. Those are neighboring counties that supplies the commodity. And right here I am at an informal settlement in Kisauni called Tugawe, and I'll be quickly joined by a local resident here to just try and get a glimpse, give us a glimpse of how they have been surviving with this issue of struggling to get water. Kwanza kabisa ningependa ujitambulishe kwa majina, waitwa nani, halafu tueleze hili swala la kukosa maji limewaathiri vipi kama wakazi wa eneo hili.
Mimi kwa majina naitwa Mama Stone, na mimi naishi hapa Tugawe since 83, lakini hii swala la maji lilituadhiri kama tulikaa sana kama miaka mingi bila kuwa na mfereji wa maji na maji freshi. Ndio wale matajiri hapa, mtu anajitokeza na chimba boreholes, lakini haituvai kwa sababu huwezi kunywa, si maji masafi. Ndio tukaamua sisi tutafute namna ni akina nani wanaweza tusaidia na maji.
Lakini pia kumekuwa na baadhi ya watu ambao wanauzia wakazi maji. Je, pengine kwa mtungi mmoja mnanunua maji pesa ngapi, na pengine wale ambao hawajiwezi kupata pesa hizo za kununua maji wanaathirika kivipi?
Wale ambaye kama sisi zote tulikuwa tumeathirika. Sababu hata sisi tulikuwa tuenda paka stage kule Mlaleo juu, na unaamka saa 11 na mitungi yako upate usipate, saa nyingine saa 6 ndio napata. Siku ya kwenda kutafuta maji ilikuwa ni kama leo, ukienda kutafuta maji kesho, hiyo ni kazi ya maji tu, na utarudi karibu saa 6 wewe hujapata maji kutoka kule. Alafu kama wewe huna nguvu ya kwenda kungangana kule mferejini, unaletewa hapa na maji. Hao watu wa mkokoteni walikuwa wanatuuzia shilingi 35 mtungi, kwa sababu atakwambia mimi nimeamka saa 9 nilikuwa mferejini, na hiyo kungangana, na akiuza atauza mkokoteni mmoja. Kwa hivyo anaona afadhali aniuzie 35 kwa mtungi, na hiyo 35 kama wataka kufua ujue hutafua. Kwa hivyo kulikuwa kumechafuka sana.
Na vile vile kuna miradi tofauti ambayo kampuni ya kusambaza maji eneo hili la Mombasa la Mwasco imeleta miradi tofauti ya kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba wakazi wanapata maji. Je, pengine umeweza kufaidika na miradi kama hayo?
Nimefaidika na hii sasa, hii Tugawe Kiwasco, hii tulifunguliwa juzi na waziri pale chini. Lakini hii tunaona kama ni miujiza, kwa sababu tulikuwa tunaona hatutafaidika maisha yote. Na hiyo mikutano tukafanya na tukafaulu, na wakaja wakatutilia maji. Ingawaji sasa malipo huwa tunalipa, kulikuwa tuna deni ya maji, na ile deni inakuja pamoja na ile bili wewe uko nayo.
Okay. Well, of course, also Gladys, there have been various challenges that the company that is in charge of supplying water in Mombasa County has been facing, and I'm told that there's someone in charge of that particular institution, and he's here to give us also answers to the questions that we are trying to seek, because there have been areas whereby there have been water pipes busting, and of course this in one way or another has largely affected the supply of water in Mombasa County. And quickly, sir, thank you so much for joining us first for NTV today, for giving us also this interview. Kindly introduce yourself and just tell us what are some of these challenges that you're experiencing as a company that is Mwasco the company that is supplying water in Mombasa, and how have you managed to address these challenges?
Thank you so much. My name is Juma Mazo. I am the General Manager in charge of commercial and business in Mombasa Water. First and foremost, the biggest challenge that we have as Mombasa Water is that we lack our own source of supply, and therefore we have to rely on sources which are outside Mombasa. namely Baricho, which is in Kilifi County. That's our major source. Mzima Springs, which is in Taita Taveta. Then we have 2 minor sources of Tiwi boreholes and Marere, which are in Kwale. So that is the first biggest challenge that we have in terms of water supply in Mombasa. We have to rely from other sources.
And today marking the World Water Day and the theme being leaving no one behind, how are you people, or rather what are you doing to ensure that you abide by this particular theme and ensure that there will be steady supply of water to the residents of Mombasa?
Thank you. Today as World Water Day, we're also happy to be here in Tua Tugawe celebrating one of our major successful projects that we've undertaken of late. The biggest challenge of water is that now we are trying to come up with solutions which can enable us to increase our water supply. At the moment, we are only able to supply about 30% of the Mombasa residents' requirement. One, we have restarted boreholes in Tiwi, which had died for a very long time, therefore denying us a very huge source of supply to the county. We have 3 boreholes in Tiwi, which we have taken the initiative together with the Coast Water to bring them up so that we can increase the water supply. We've also talked to Coast Water, engaged them aggressively so that we can increase our production from Baricho through a new line which they are preparing from Kakuyuni to Kilifi, so that we can get an extra 10,000 cubic meters daily to beef up the supply that we have at the moment. Because at the moment we get about 30,000 cubic meters, which is not enough. So we believe these 2 lines, Baricho and Tiwi boreholes, will enable us to reach about 45,000 cubic meters, which should enable us to at least increase our coverage.
And that brings me to my last question. How are you able to deal with this rationing? Because I'm told that some areas have to receive water for only 6 hours during the entire week. How is that manageable?
The rationing actually is done in a very smart way because we are focused on a number of days, and then we've also divided into the areas that we have. So basically what we are saying is that we're giving an opportunity to each and every resident of Mombasa County to be able to get water at least twice in a week. And we are really encouraging them that when that water flows, then they should use that opportunity to store and do whatever is possible so that they can be able to. So we have a number of days, like on Monday, Thursday and Friday, we are giving water to the island in full. And then Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday, we are giving water to Kisauni and Nyali. We are happy Changamwe West Mainland has its own, I can say, steady supply. So in that area there is not much, but we manage it in a very smart way so that even within those areas, we distribute it accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Well, Gladys, as you've just heard, that is the situation here in Mombasa, and the respective institutions are doing whatever they can to ensure that there will be steady supply of the precious commodity in this region. I have to hand it back over to you, Gladys, so that you can be able to continue with other news stories from my colleagues across the country.
Thank you, Kevin Mutai, coming to us from Mombasa, to be specific, Kisauni. And it is interesting that today the world marks World Water Day, and yet many Kenyans are dealing with the lack of the same, and rationing has become the reality for very many Kenyans. So we would like to also know about your experience in as far as water rationing is concerned. Remember, at NTV Kenya at Gladys_Gashanja. We now cross over to Taita Taveta County, where my colleague Billy Otieno is standing by. He was coming from from Moi Referral Hospital on the same conversation of tuberculosis.
Thank you very much, Gladys Gashanja. We are live here at the Moi Referral Hospital in Taita Taveta, and we'll be talking about the tuberculosis situation. And joining me here is Mr. David Mosia, who is also the county TB, the county TB and leprosy coordinator. Okay, so maybe Daktari, if you can just tell us in brief, maybe what's the rate, what's the trend now today, as from 3 years to 2019?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Billy. Actually, the trend previously from 2016, 2017, it was going down, but 2018 it came up. We got more TB cases compared to the other years. Yeah.
And if I may ask, how is tuberculosis now affecting the children, maybe, or the underaged?
Of course, the underaged and the elderly, they are especially the elderly are affected more. The children are affected because of their low immunity. So we get cases, and we are doing so much to get children. Previously, just like the normal TB, we had few children diagnosed with TB, but last year we got a good percentage, 11.5%, around 11.5% were diagnosed with TB among all the TB cases.
Maybe currently, what is the county government doing, or what are the measures put in place to handle this chronic problem or disease that majority of people are facing?
Yeah, as a county, we are involving the community. We have community health workers who are working at the counties. We have several community units, and we are going around sensitizing them on issues to do with the tuberculosis. And we have partners who are assisting us, especially in contact tracing, meaning when we get a patient who is bacteriologically confirmed, we do to their homesteads, we do trace, we do ask questions, we see whether we can get TB cases from there, because infection is from maybe the closely related people.
So thank you very much, Dr. So okay, this is what we've been having for now, and for now that's what I can say the doctor is promising, and I'll be taking it back to you, Gladys. That's it for here in Taita Taveta today.
Thank you, Billy Otieno, coming to us from Voi in Taita Taveta County. He was speaking to a health care official from the Moi Referral Hospital in charge of a TB section, and definitely giving us some of those numbers that I had shared with you early on in as far as the percentages that are affecting children when it comes to tuberculosis. And now, earlier I had touched on the fact that Kiambu County is very significant in hosting today's celebrations in as far as marking World TB Day is concerned, and this is because Kiambu County has a large TB disease burden, and if you can have those graphics on screen, and contribute significantly to the pool of missing persons with TB. Now, according to the Kiambu County Strategic Plan, that of 2014 to 2018, tuberculosis was ranked 6th cause of morbidity and 9th cause of mortality in the county, respectively. Now, this clearly makes Kiambu one of those counties with the highest TB burden in Kenya, and the TB trends have been on the rise over the years in this county. Now, Daktari, at this point, I think we need to understand how and why Kiambu County is among those leading with the TB burden in the country.
Yeah, so Kiambu is one of the counties, one of the 10 counties we call the high burden TB counties. And there are many factors that make Kiambu have high TB burden. We know a lot of industries are in Kiambu, both agricultural and other industries. It's closer to Nairobi, which is an urban area. Actually, the population in Kiambu during the day, in Nairobi, in Kiambu during the day is less than at night, because a lot of people come to work in Nairobi and go back to Kiambu because of its proximity. So these are some of the factors that will make Kiambu have a high burden of TB. We know that in counties where there's high burden, and even those ones with low burden, we still have got a lot of missing TB cases. People develop symptoms, and they don't have time to go to seek health care. So a lot of these people are young people between 24 and 35 years who are working in informal settlements, the ones I've talked about, the flower farms, the tea farms, the other industries. And so during the day, even when they have symptoms, they are still at work. And some of this work also predisposes them to, issues to do with TB because of the conditions in which they work in, where ventilation issues and exposure to confinements that will make TB easily transmissible. We focus on Kiambu this year because of the reasons given. Is one of the high burden counties, but also because it is one of the counties that we want to start a project, what we call the NTB strategy, Maliza TB County Initiative for Kiambu, which will roll out later in other counties. What we want to do is to screen the whole population of tuberculosis. We know that people get TB, but not all of them get the disease. I get the infection, but a few of them will go on to get the disease. So a large number will find they have infection. And WHO and the global health bodies have realized that one of the key strategies to end TB by 2035 is to clear the seedbed. These people who are harboring TB, but it is not discovered. So for Kiambu, that initiative will go on, and I think it will be launched today. And so the process of screening people, and those ones who are found to have what we call latent tuberculosis.
Yes.
Tuberculosis that doesn't have signs and symptoms, because they're seedbed and they're the ones who want to develop and transmit. They are put on treatment.
Yes.
And those ones who are found to have overt disease or tuberculosis, they are started on proper treatment again. And so it's a very important strategy for us as a country, because then we will be able to see the outcomes and see how best we can also scale up to other counties. And see that latent tuberculosis, we clear latent tuberculosis in order for us to be able to reduce people who get the disease and infect the community.
Okay, before I cross over to my colleague in Murang'a County, you said it's one of the 10 counties. Which are those?
Other 10 high burden counties. For both TB and DRTB, Nairobi, of course, leads in this. We have Kiambu, we have Nakuru, we have Meru, we have Mombasa, we have Kisumu, we have Siaya, Homa Bay, we have Turkana. So those ones actually in Garissa. Garissa also comes in as one of the high burden TB counties.
And I would assume that each county carries different reasons why it carries...
Each county carries different reasons. But you will find most of these are urban. They have urban settlements.
Yes.
And from the prevalence survey that was done in 2015, it showed that a lot of TB is in the urban setup, as opposed to the rural. To the rural settings,
All right. Now, I will be crossing over to our health worker in studio today to just give us an understanding of some of the challenges they're dealing with in Kiambu County, because he actually is from Kiambu County. But before we get to it, let's cross over to Murang'a County, where my colleague Martin Moore is now joining us on the same conversation, tuberculosis.
Thank you, Gladys. I had told you in the morning that we'll be talking to the director in charge of health in Murang'a. I just want to give a sneak peek of the numbers of TB cases in Murang'a. I won't take much of our time, so karibu sana daktari.
Thank you.
I just want you to tell me what is TB prevalence in Murang'a?
Okay, I will talk about 2018 data, because now we are in 2019, the first quarter. In 2018, the TB notified cases in Murang'a County were 2,385. And 10% of that, the 2,385, 10% of that is children. So around 200 children have TB.
Maybe, is this a number that's supposed to worry Murang'a residents? And maybe what are you doing to ensure that we bring zero TB cases in Murang'a?
Okay, what we are doing and what we realized, I think I can talk about the TB survey, which was done in 2016. where we realized that there's a lot of TB in the communities. So what we are doing is that we want to really sensitize the communities so that the clients can come to the hospitals, to the facilities. We tell them to go to the nearest facility so that they can be screened for TB. And we are also telling them not to ignore any cough. Before, we used to say that after somebody coughs for 2 weeks, that is when they should come to the facilities. But now we are saying any cough, anybody who is coughing should be screened for TB. Yeah, then from the screening, if somebody is found to be TB positive, we have treatments, and we support, it's a journey, and we support those clients throughout the treatment so that they can survive. Yeah.
Maybe from your own research, what is leading to these cases in increase in Murang'a County? Is it lifestyle, or is it, what is the cause?
Okay, I wouldn't say it is a sort of an increase. What we are saying is that TB has been there. It is only that now people are not coming out. They had not been sensitized enough so that they can come out and be screened. And now also for the diagnosis, we are having special machines. We are calling them gene expert machines, which are helping us. And we have two. We have one in Murang'a County Referral Hospital and another one in Maragua Sub-County Hospital. So when the samples are brought now, the diagnosis can be made, and now we are able to reach out to the clients for treatment.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe what do you think is leading to these cases of TB in Murang'a? Because there was a plan to have 0 TB cases, and we're hearing we have 2,000. Maybe what are the causes?
Okay, what I would say is people should not worry. Even with that number, we are saying TB in Atiba. Out of the 2,385, our success rate was 84%. So we are not doing badly, but the percentage which is remaining, sometimes it's the defaulters, they default along the way. Some of them don't come out, they come late. That is why we are saying we really have to sensitize the communities. So by the time they come to our facilities, it has already taken so long, so the treatment success rate is not that good. But with the 84%, we can get to 100% if they come to our facilities on time. We screen them and we put them on treatment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for your time. I really appreciate it. Now, Gladys, you have just had the TB cases on the Murang'a. The numbers are not worrying, but people are being asked to just go get tested if they start coughing. Don't wait for 2 weeks, go get tested. For TB, we need to bring the number to 0. Back to you, Gladys.
Thank you, Martin Mora, coming to us from Murang'a County. And we now have statistics, or actually some view of how Murang'a County is doing in as far as the TB burden is concerned. And at this point, I'd like to bring in Edward Babuneri to this conversation as a community health worker coming from Kiambu County, one of the 10 counties that has a high TB burden. And especially amongst the children, what are some of the measures that you're putting in place to ensure that we get more people coming out to go for screening and also protect these children?
So first of all, I will start by also talking reason why there's a high burden of TB in Kiambu County, apart from some factors that Daktari have explained, because there are so many slums also in Kiambu County. One of them being where I come from, Kiandutu. So the living condition also may also be part of this, because you go into a household during home visit, you find they live in one single room. One of them is smear positive, so the risk of spreading this TB is also high. So that's also maybe may be reason why we have high burden TB in Kiambu. Especially in Thika. So I also want to talk about maybe the challenge that CHVs or community health volunteers goes through during maybe this work. Because remember, this work is we volunteer. So you find most of CHV are trained on this, but you find maybe only 2 or 3 are active in this in contact tracing of TB. So you go through a lot. Maybe you want to find this person. So whenever you book appointment with index client, when to come to visit this client, he or she keep on postponing that maybe you come next weekend, I'm not around. I remember during the intensive phase, they are at risk of spreading the TB. So by the time maybe you reach this client, you go to that household, you find like 4 of them already have symptoms.
Yeah.
So when you refer them, maybe 2 or 3 will turn to be smear positive. And we feel good when you refer the client and then they turn to be smear positive, they test to be positive for TB. I think because of good tracing also, that's why maybe you will find there are so many cases, because it means that there is a good tracing by the community health volunteer. Maybe the challenge that maybe I can also say about maybe what we are going through as community health volunteer is maybe the stipend, maybe the stipend of maybe the tracing, because we also do the community tracing of TB. So by the time you do community screening and you refer the client from the community and he or she turn to be smear positive, remember you're not paid for that. But when you go to maybe to the household, that's why you get the stipend. But for normal activity, where you leave your job and you go to do the community screening and sensitization, you don't get paid for that. So that has been a challenge, making most of the CHV not taking part in sensitization and all that. So I think that's why maybe you may find also high burden, which is not maybe controlled at community level. Because remember, it is a volunteer work.
Yes.
You are not maybe paid for that. Maybe a small stipend, and the CHV want to go to do his job.
Yeah.
Maybe he or she have a family. So it become a challenge in tracing and all that. But I know maybe Daktari, when they start their part, maybe where they want to end the TB, they can maybe engage the CHV a lot, because they are the ones, they are the people who live with these people at the community level. Because even at the tiers of community strategy, the CHV are the one who are the foundation of these. So they have to be engaged a lot and being supported. So I think they have to support us in this.
Okay, Daktari, I'm sure you've had that. So even as you are conducting the celebrations today, this should come out clearly that they are the core of fighting TB and bringing those numbers to zeros. Hence, they need to be taken care of and also given the incentive to help. Yeah,
maybe just to add on that, actually, as we talk of end TB strategy or ending TB by 2035, one of the key strategies is, finding people in the community. We have those ones already who come to the facility, and there are strategies we've put in place. But community health workers have played a very important role to be able to get TB from the community and to refer them to the facilities. Because like you had, a lot of people have symptoms, but they are not concerned. They're in the community continuing to spread the disease. So these are very key workforce for us to work with.
And sensitizing people to come out for screening. Okay. World TB Day being celebrated on the 24th of March, being a Sunday, it will be celebrated today in Thika Town, and it's being done. So it's being held there because Kiambu County holds or is one of the 10 counties that has a high burden of TB, and we even talked about the reasons why this is the case. But even as we talk about TB and wrap up this conversation, listening to the mothers in studio, that is Martha and Leah, there was a cost that came in taking care of your children in as far as TB is concerned, and taking care of and making sure they have the right therapy. Ulitumia pesa nyingi
kabisa.
Ungetaka kuambia serikali vipi, na how else can people be helped in as far as getting treatment for TB is concerned?
Ningetaka kuambia serikali igirie kati. Kado na TB, ugonjwa wote ikiingilia, yani jagwa ya ugonjwa ikiingia kwa boma, inaitaga changamoto mingi sana. Na ni watu wengi sana hata wamejivisha huko manyumbani, labda alienda akatumwa kwa kipimo fulani, kakosa pesa. Kwa hivyo ukionelea sasa utawezana, labda hiyo 8,000 naitishwa, sina, tadampu hiyo mgonjwa hapo. Kwa hivyo wengi ni wale wanakufia huko. Kwa hivyo serikali inafaa ingilie kati sana sana. Leo tunaongelea ugonjwa ya TB. TB inatumia pesa mingi. kabla ufikie ile kiwango ya mgonjwa kujulikana ako na TB ama hata ama tuseme amejulikana tena ako na TB, kama vitu kama hizo, vitu za hewa nini, igirie kati wagonjwa kama hao iwasaidie, mabiru ya hospitali wasimamie, gharama, yani gharama hiyo washukuliage, sababu ni wagonjwa wengi wamedampiwa hata huko kwa vijiji. Tena tuseme watu kama wanaume warevi, tuigirie kati. Warevi wako na hiyo kitu ya kushikwa sana na TB.
They are child risk, yes.
Sababu kukiwa ni kakombe kama hii ya chai, unaonanga kapobe kana kunywa na watu kama 20 na wajapimwa, kwa hivyo wataabuki sana, na wakiabuki sana nasema tu just ni kohozi ya kasigala. Kwa hivyo tujichunge na serikali iingilie kati tena sana, kwa sababu tena ukishikwa tena na jagwa hiyo ya ugonjwa, kama mimi caregiver, hiyo kazi nilikuwa nafanya, nilisimama. Nikisimama, huyo mgonjwa anahitaji chakula, anahitaji transport, anahitaji, kuna wale watoto bado wako nyuma, si yeye pekee, nilikuwa na watoto wengine. Kwa hivyo wanataka baba na mama. Kwa hivyo serikali iingilie kati, at least nashikilia kati kwa wagonjwa na kwa mahospitali, sababu mtu kama mimi sasa kuitishwa million plus ilikuwa kama historia. Sababu hata wakuja waniitishe mimi kama Mama Joyce
hauna,
sina na siwezi pata. Hiyo ni mashini ya shua kwa nyumba yenye sijui hata nitapeleka wapi. Hata hiyo mashini tena itafutiwe tena mteja. My health workers, tuko na daktari hapa wanaweza niangalilia mtu mwenye anaweza nunua, kwa sababu tena wakinituma Kenyatta, wale wagonjwa wanashidaga tu kunisubua na phone, wanafikiria Mama Joyce alipewa hiyo mashini free, lakini ni jukumu nilifanya, nikafanya harambee, kaita marafiki wakanishagia. Kwa hivyo hata mimi ningetaka hata at least nipate hata mimi ya pesa ya kujishikilia, kama saa hii tu niko tu kwa nyumba.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For you, Leah, definitely a year plus of misdiagnosis and finally finding out that your child had TB, you now had to get into the treatment. How has the cost looked like, and how would you want it alleviated going forward?
Okay, as for me, from the duration my baby was misdiagnosed with TB, it was a duration of 1 year. From it was back in 2017 in April. By then she was 6 months. So up to when she was diagnosed with TB, we started the medication, but that was after a duration of 1 year. When we started the medication, the cost of transport, the medication, we really spent a lot of money within that duration of 1 year. The medication, about the medication, we were okay. We were quite unlucky, but I would say it was unlucky because we didn't find the syrup form.
Okay.
We found the tablets.
The tablets.
Yes.
So you have to crush for the baby.
I had to crush for the baby and then mix with some milk or some water, then give the baby. And as a matter of fact, when immediately you crush a drug, it becomes bitter. So she would cry. Sometimes she vomits the drug, and when she vomits, I had to repeat the dose. So I had to quit my job because I had to look after the baby. She needed all my attention.
And ensure she gets the drugs and finish the dose.
Yes, she finished the dose and now she's doing fine. She's now started to pick up milestones.
Oh, fantastic. That is great news. Now, Daktari, two things that come up, that it takes a lot of money before diagnosis is done. Yes, there's a bit of it that NHIF takes after diagnosis. We're talking about 6,000 to 8,000 shillings to treat a case of TB. How can this be better alleviated and also help in terms of getting the correct drugs for the patients?
Yeah, so thank you. We know actually TB, patients who have TB have undergone quite a bit of cost. A study that was done sometime 2 years ago, what we call the patient cost survey for TB patients, found that on average, a TB patient will spend up to almost 25,000 Kenya shillings. And DRTB, that is MDR-TB, will spend up to about 145,000.
And that's the drug-resistant TB.
Drug-resistant TB. In costs, indirect costs,
yes.
that is not related to the drugs, the medication. So you see, and therefore, as we talk of the NTB strategy also, we are focusing more on ensuring that our patients don't undergo what we call catastrophic costs. Should be zero. And that is these are the targets that have been set worldwide. For Kenya, we ensure that for our MDR-TB patients, at least all of them have to be enrolled on NHIF. Yeah, because once you're on NHIF, it's able to cover quite a number of costs for you, so that you're not able to suffer so much. For DRTB patients, we also, through the support of the Global Fund, they receive a stipend or some form of support, financial support, about $60, which is about 6,000 Kenya shillings, to support them throughout the treatment. When they are on treatment. After the treatment period, now that one stops. The 6,000 is to help for transport. So some of them have to come to the facility to get their medication, to be reviewed, and also just to support them in any other form, like buying one or two things that will support them as while they're on treatment. And so with the UHC, Universal Health Coverage now, we want to ensure that actually our patients don't undergo any form of costs or pay for services. And therefore, as a program, we came up with what we call UHC package for both the TB and drug-resistant TB patients. And these we did submit, and we hope that once it's adopted, our patients will not pay for any cost, including some of the investigations like chest X-ray. Some of them might want other complicated tests, including some of the machines that are used for complicated cases. That the UHC package should be able to cover for that, and I'm sure these will be coming in very soon.
That is great news, and that needs to be expedited because there is a need for this infrastructure to be set up. Now, Edward, even as we close, you who works with those that are in the community, what would you like to put out there so that they understand the challenges that come with TB, the suffering that comes with it, and how much we need to put in to ensure that we come to zero cases?
So for me, maybe I would like those who are clinicians and all that, such cases, to avoid misdiagnosis, they should ensure that maybe every client, whenever we send them, especially those with smear positive cases, they go through laboratory tests, and if it fails, there is also gene expert, because in most cases, there are some cases where the smear test fails, but when it is tested through gene expert, it turned to be positive. So that's what I would like. Maybe it should be put in place, whereby we, as long as we send client there to be diagnosed, they do their part, because there are sometimes whereby we send a case and then a client maybe is just given some few medication and all that. So that's what I want to sensitize when it comes to those people who are clinicians like Daktari. When we refer the cases, they should ensure that they don't fail. They don't fail us. They do their part.
All right. We have been speaking to Edward Abuneri, who is a community health worker from Kiambu County, Lea Wanjiku Wangare, caregiver to a child who was misdiagnosed but with CP, but now at least they got to know what she was suffering from, which was TB, and she's doing well. We have Martha Njoki, who was a caregiver to a daughter who succumbed to TB at 12 years old, but she now speaks about TB to sensitize others that in a tiba, so we need not to get to the point where she got to. And of course, Dr. Stephen Muleshe, who is the head of pediatric at the National TB Program. Thank you all for your time, even as we mark World TB Day. Remember, this is normally commemorated on the 24th of March, but being a Sunday, it is being officiated today in Thika Town, and this is because Kiambu County is one of the 10 counties with a high TB burden. Thank you for your company. This has been NTV Today. My name is Gladys Gashanja. NTV Sasa starts right after this.